What is up, everybody? Finally, we are here. We've had some technical difficulties, and we greatly appreciate everybody's patience leading up to the beginning here of round one qualifying. We have drivers in the lobby, we have a driver at the line. We are about ready to go. We're going to take a couple of minutes here, though, and walk you through what you're going to be looking at today. Off the rip, this is the qualifying event for round one, season 4. We are live on West Coast Arena, the S.O.G Course A. Your judges for today are going to be Kaiju's very own Mr. Wild, S.O.G's Blue, and another Kaiju member, Mince. Those are going to be your 3 judges today. Wild will be checking the line. Blue will be after the angle, and Mints will be checking your style as you slide through today. The actual line itself, there are 3 outside zones, 4 outside touch and goes, 2 inside clips, and a couple of decel zones that the drivers will have to navigate. If you've never seen a drifting event before, whether it be an IRL event or a actual virtual event, basically what you're going to see today is what you see in the overview there. Each driver is going to get 2 attempts to gain as many points as possible, with 100 points being the absolute max that they can gain. Those points are going to come from the following. The line is you have a potential of getting 40 points there. Your angle, you can gain 35, and your style is a maximum of 25 points. The final score for the qualifying will come from the higher of the 2 runs. So if you have a 65 on your first run and an 85 on your second, the 85 is what's going to carry you over into the top 32 bracket. Take a quick look at the course here itself, just so everybody knows what we're looking at here today. If you watch the little tiny car right down there at the bottom, that is the start line. Drivers will proceed down to the initiation point and go into outside zone number 1. Outside zone number 1 goes all the way around the black and white wall that has evil intentions, I can assure you, entering into the first decel zone, and then through the triple touches outside, inside, and outside, heading over to outside zone number 2, all the way up against that white line. Do not cross the white line. Touch and go 3 and 4, sliding over into outside zone number 3. Final decel zone to navigate here. Snug into the last inside touch, and there you are back at the finish line, ready for your second run. That's what we're looking at for today, folks. Everybody's ready to go here. Again, we apologize for the delay. Let me give you a quick introduction to my partner in crime here today in the booth, S.O.G. Brian. How are you today, sir?
Yo, I'm ready to send this off. It has been a long wait, but man, I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to send this off, and I'm just ready to see some kick-ass drifting.
Same. We've got our first driver at the line. We'll switch over there and take a quick look at him, and we'll get this thing going. You'll actually get to see some sliding happening. Sitting at the line, ready to go, is the one and only Team Hellbound's Captain IDGAF. I'm assuming you can figure out what those letters mean. Brian, if you would, let our cone car know that we are ready to send our first run.
Driver's ready. We got lights. He's taking off. All right, we are off, ladies and gentlemen. Coming down to initiation. Coming as a nice initiation out into this first outside zone, all the way around this evil-ass West Coast wall. Coming out to the outside touch and go, hits it very nicely, all the way down to this inside and the outside again. Shoots out to this second outside zone, maybe a little shallow here, but we will see how the judges feel. Outside touch and go, very nicely done. Another outside touch and go. Transitions out to the second scary wall. All the way around that one, coming into the final inside touch and go. Maybe a little shallow, but a nicely done run all the way around. Back to the starting line. He's going to go.
Indeed. We're going to take a
run already.
All right.
He's
I mean, nothing like
all the way
waiting,
up the lap. Yeah, no kidding. All the way around the first outside zone. Comes down to the outside touch and go, one inside touch and go, and the second outside touch and go. Comes around to the second outside zone. Maybe a little shallow at the beginning again, but not too bad. He is making improvements. Last two touch and goes are pretty nicely done. This last outside zone was a lot better. Comes into this inside touch and go for the last, and across the line we go. Good set of runs there. Very good set of runs. Not bad at all.
Take a peek at his. All right. So while we get the next driver lined up here on the line, take a quick look back at his first and second run here. These might be the actual exact same two. Could have a little bit of an issue there.
So those were quality runs there. Do have a driver at the line, and the scores are in.
Second score is definitely in. Like you said, he is going to improve there. That is going to be an 83. So that is actually going to put him at the top of the board right now. We'll see what Smoker's got to say about that as we lead into our second run here. If we give it just 1 second, folks, I'm going to double check how come during the replay we're not being able to talk to you. All right. We do have Mr. Smoker sitting at the line, ready to go for his runs. If we could let him go there.
All right, and Mr. Smoker is off for his first of 2 qualifying runs. Smooth initiation, bit deeper than Captain was, but a little wavering here and there. That the judges are definitely going to take note of that. Coming into these outside and inside touch and goes, nicely done. Smooth transition out to outer 2, right up against that wall. I like to see it. Outside touch and go 3 and 4 are very nicely placed, right up against those clipping points. Last outside zone against the wall, and this inside touch, about as close as you can get on that inside touch and go as you can possibly be.
No,
across the line he goes. That's a solid qualifying run.
Kaiju.
It looks like
Kaiju.
but due to international copyright laws, it's not. Still, we should run like it is.
Kaiju.
Though it is.
Shit around here, head for the crown here. Promise I'm dying a legend. No wonder why I got them all mad. Hater on the floor, get dragged. They folded my presents. They fold up while I'm coming with the heater. She loved me, but I don't really need her. Walking in the valley in the shadow of the reaper. Shooting for the sun, always been a heat seeker. Thumb in my heart, go boom, boom, boom. Sharpshooter gonna put a fuel through you. I was put here just to fuck shit up. You bitch, your crib, both getting ran through. I was down bad, was an outcast, still outlasting them all. I'm a prophet, yo. Whole crowd laugh now, counteracts in a Cadillac. No life, he needs topping, yo. Now we up crazy to come game, feeling like cocaine. She told me she wanted to do it. Whole team eat like a buffet, up late, getting done paid for the work that we move it.
All right, sorry folks. That was I didn't have all my audio set up just right for the replay. I don't think y'all were able to actually see the replay there. I apologize, or hear the audio during the replay. My apologies for that. I do believe we've got that sorted, so we should be good to go. We want to send Dr. Brian there. Let him do his quali run.
Got it. And he's off. Dr. B. Ryan from Team BTZ. Solid initiation into outer one. Little flickering here and there, but it's nothing too crazy. All the way around that wall. Nicely played. Out to outer one. Touch and go 2 and 3. Outer wall here. Get right up against that white line without touching the white line. Touch and go 3 and 4 for the outers. Nicely done. All the way around. Oh no, slight tire drop against the wall, but nothing crazy. Inside touch and go is very nicely done, and across the line, solid first run. Way to shake the nerves off.
Indeed.
An improvement on the second run.
Yeah, there's certainly room for improvement there. Taking a look as he's out there against that outside wall. Pretty smooth through those triple touches, man. Could have been a little deeper in that last one, for sure.
Yeah, but as well, though, that's the smoothest we've seen yet coming through those touch and goes. That was a very nicely done through the first 3 touch and goes. That last outer zone kind of bit him, though. We do have scores in.
We do have scores in at 79.
Solid score. That is a solid first run, folks.
Everybody's got a 79 on the first run.
Yep.
Let's see what he's got for his second attempt here.
We got lights. He's getting the countdown, and he's off. Nice flick initiation, much deeper on this first outside zone than the last run. This is looking to be a solid run, folks. Touch and go, outside touch and go 1 is good. Inside touch and go is good. Outside 2 is great. All the way up against this green wall. Very nicely done. Coming out to the third outside touch and go, about as close as you can get without dropping a tire. Maybe a little shallow on the fourth, but not bad. Comes up on the last outside wall there. Nicely done. Did drop a tire a bit, but he's up against that inside zone. Very nicely done. Across the line and back to the line he goes. Very, very good run, Dr. B. Ryan. I believe we're going to see an improvement here.
I think you're correct.
I do believe we're going to see an improvement. from the looks of it, it is going to be an improvement.
It certainly will. Oh, we got a little bit of an error there.
Got too many screens to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. No doubt.
I've got 3 completely separate screens. 2 laptops and my TV. Bit ridiculous.
There we go. Now we got the right replays up, I believe.
There's the double side by side.
There's your side by side, yeah. All right.
All
Good
right.
deal.
But we do have scores in for the second run, folks. Oh man, so how's everybody out there doing? Get some W's in the chat for season 4 starting off. All right, seeing some W's start trickling in. I love to see it. Love to see it. Guys, I'm telling you, season 4 is going to be wild. With all the changes that we're making and everything that we're doing, this is going to be a season to pay attention to. Because it's only going to get better moving forward.
Indeed. My overlay system crashed here for a second, so bear with us, folks. I'm trying to get that thing back running.
Oh, computer problems. Yes, wild. I said wild. I wasn't talking about you, though.
All right. There we go. Now we're back.
Oh, we're back. We're back, folks.
Let's see.
Back in action.
Who do we got the line there? Brian, KJ?
That is going to be KJ. Whenever you're ready, I'll send the word to go.
It'll be just 1 second.
I'm glad they can't hear my clicky clacky of my keyboard going.
All right, we should be set. Whenever Mr. Speedy is ready to send him, we can send him.
We got lights. 3, 2, 1, go! And he's off in a little AE86 Trueno. Nice flick initiation all the way out to this outer wall on zone 1. That is a tricky wall, folks. You don't want to get too close. It'll bite you. Coming out to outer touch and go 1, a little shallow. Inside touch and go 1 was nicely done. Touch and go 2 was better than the first. The second outside zone is very nicely placed. Gets his car right where he needs it to be. Touch and goes 3 and 4, nicely done. Shifts out all the way out to outer 3. A little shallow coming through the first half, but not too bad. He basically misses that inside touch and go though by carrying the car. Just carried a little too much momentum out there. Cross the line, he's back at the staging lane. We're gonna watch a replay real quick while we wait for the scores to come in.
Indeed. Take a second look at the man's run there. You weren't kidding, man. He was just right in the pocket on almost all of those zones. You can tell that
Yeah.
my man has been practicing.
Oh, absolutely. Gets right out for outer 2, right where he needs to be, right up against that white line without actually getting on the white line. Man is throwing down some time on practicing this line.
Yep, we do have his score in. Judges are seeing things maybe a little bit different than we are.
Yeah. Might have seen some things.
Comes through with a 78 on his first run there.
What really hurt him was his style. He really just wasn't as flashy as they wanted to see.
I suppose. But he's ready if we are. Or we are if he is.
Europe. We got some lurching at the line. Looks like he's ready and rearing and ready to go. God, I cannot English.
Yeah, Englishing is hard.
All right, 3, 2, 1, go, and he is off. Coming up to initiation, another nice flick initiation right into the pocket of this outside zone. Oh, a little tap there, but doesn't upset the line too bad. Coming up to the outside touch and go 1, inner 1, and outer 2. Nicely done. Places his car right up against that white line for outside zone 2. Outer touch and go 3 and 4 are nicely placed. Shifts his weight all the way out to the outer zone 3. Coming up to the last inside touch and go right before the line. Crossing the line, I'm not sure if going up on that bank right there was before or after the finish line. We'll have to see what the judges say. I do believe I saw a tire drop on outer 3 though. We'll go to the replay and see what they say. Yeah, that was such a nice flick right into the pocket on outer 1.
Yeah, man, he really stuck it in there, huh?
Yeah. These little A86s, man, these Hachirokus are some fun cars to drive, but they are not for everybody because they are flicky.
Flicky?
They are flicky.
Who's going to be at the line next?
We got Ty from Imperium sitting on the line.
All right. So the final score is in for the second run there for KJ. Going to slot him into the second spot with a score of 85.
Nicely done, KJ. Big improvement. So that
like
little going up on the bank.
Ty right back at the line, ready to go.
All right. If you're ready, I'll go ahead and get him sent.
I am definitely ready.
Cool. Let's go. Ty is off the line. Flick initiation all the way out to inner 1, right on the pocket for outer 1. Ty is a guy that knows how to drive, man. All the way through these 3 touch and goes, about as deep as you can get in that second outside touch and go. Outer zone 2 is nicely placed. Touch and goes 3 and 4, maybe leaving a little on the table, but nothing too crazy. That's about the best fill of outer 3 as I've seen. And inside touch and go 2 is also nicely done right across the line. And we'll wait for the scores.
Wait for the scores. Peep the replay while he's while we're waiting for those to roll in. Judges seem to fancy that kind of run. Looks like Ty is going to set the tone with that one, coming in at a nice high number.
That's
I'll be honest with you, man. These same judges have been doing a lot of judging for us, and that might be the highest score I've seen them give anybody.
That is the highest score I've ever seen them give somebody. These scores are coming in faster than our replays can get over with.
Exactly.
They are quick
Which is
on
good.
it today.
So as you see there, Ty setting the tone with his first run coming in at a nice breezy 92 degrees.
Yes, sir.
Lined up ready for his second run. We're ready. He's ready. Let's see if he can top that 92. He might just slide back and take it easy.
Knowing Ty, that ain't gonna happen. Man is looking to see how close he can get to a 100-point run every time he gets behind the wheel.
Indeed.
Flicks it out to outer one. Oh my lord, right up against that wall.
That's just unfair.
A little shallow on outer touch and go one though. That might hurt him a bit, but coming into outer two is very nicely done. I played it a little safe on outer two. Touch and go 3 and 4. Yeah, definitely tire drop on touch and go 3. Outer zone 3 is nice. Coming in for inner touch and go 2 all the way across the line. Oh no, I'm not sure if he continued to drift across the finish line there or not, but we will see.
Yeah, you're right. He was a little bit shallow on that first outside touch.
Yep, just a little shallow on the outside touch and go, and that tire drop, it did cost him some points there. The scores are in. The second run is still the second highest score, third highest score we've seen today.
Take a quick look at your side by side there. Let you compare those two runs while we get the scoring updated. Like you said, he's going to stay at the top of the leaderboard regardless of his final score.
Outer one, man, that guy is just scary consistent with that outside zone.
Indeed.
Guys, and for all of you that don't know, Ty is the guy that runs Team Imperium. He is a threat to anybody in the game driving anywhere. He competes in VDS, VDM, IDC, IDL, all the big name competitions he is in.
Absolutely. Who's going to be our next competitor to try to knock down that 92 score?
Next up is going to be Scooby from Team Filthy in our second Toyota Corolla of the day. This one being an AE8511.
Right on. It does look like he's at the line ready to go, does it not?
Yes, it does.
All right. We're there with him. Like you see right there, it's your top, sitting at the top of the top 10s there is Ty with that 92. Let's see what Scooby's got in store for him.
All right, Andy's off. Little late flick initiation. Nothing too crazy, though. Tab of the brakes. Oh, no.
That's unfortunate.
That is unfortunate. But he's still going to finish a run, shake the jitters off, come back for his second run, and see what he can do.
Indeed.
So, folks, as you've seen, that is our unfortunate first zero of the day, but nothing that can't be fixed, right?
Indeed.
He's still going to have a second chance. He's still going to be able to try and make it into the battles.
That is a fact. Take a quick look at that replay. See exactly where he grabbed the wall, or the wall grabbed him. There it is. One of the little bump outs. That wall is just straight running evil, man.
Yeah, those little bump outs in the wall, because that wall is not flat or a circle.
No, not at all. there's a few little spots in it that where it sticks out a little bit further than the rest of the wall, and it
Like a
is
triangle.
100% brutal. But good on him for getting out there, finishing the run, getting back to the line, settling the nerves, getting ready for his second run there. As you see, the judges, of course, zeroed him out on that run, kind of saw that coming. But we are ready for his second run. I'm sure he is anxious to get to it.
All right, and he's off. Coming through. Another solid initiation. This time a little bit earlier. Keeps himself right out of that danger zone on the wall. Nicely done through outer 1.
Boy, you ain't kidding. He figured it out.
Coming up the outer touch and go 1, inner 1, and outer 2. Maybe a little shallow on outer touch and go 2, but nothing crazy. Little tire drop on outside zone 2. But he's not zeroing out, folks. So this is a improvement by any means. He is going to get a score on the board. That is a really good fill of outer zone 3. Inside touch and go 2 across the line. Folks, if you want to improve a run, that's how you do it.
Absolutely. Take a quick look at that second run replay there.
And that was our last driver for the first group. Absolutely ruthless. That second run definitely brought him back and got him a score on the board.
Absolutely, no doubt about it. It's actually going to move him. Let's see. Let's take a quick side by side on those two runs, kind of compare them. It's actually going to move. Scooby's actually going to take the 5th spot.
5th spot with an 83.
An 83.
That's how you improve a run right there.
Indeed. So that does wrap up the first group. Yes.
Yes, it does. That is the end of Group 1.
All right.
Stand by, everybody, as we get our second group in here.
Indeed.
We will
we'll take a quick break.
Quick advertisement break.
Yeah. We will be back shortly once we get the next guys in here on the track, ready to go. We'll be right back.
The well, it's always break time.
Line ready to run his runs.
Whenever you are ready, sir, I will send it to Speedy.
We are ready.
Cool. We got lights and he is off. Rocketing down. Little smooth transition into a first outer zone.
Uh-oh.
Looked like a little wall tap there, not 100% sure. Touch and go 1 is good. Touch and go 2 and 3 are all right, nicely placed. Coming out to outer 2, nicely done, right up against that white line. Coming to outer touch and go 3 and 4. Very well done. Transitions out to outer 3, maybe a little shallow there, but nothing too crazy. Nicely placed on that inside touch and go and across the line. Solid first run.
Indeed. Take a quick
Very
look back at the
solid first
replay as we
run.
wait for the scores to come in from the judges. We got one score in.
All right.
And
I
a
do see
full
our
set of
first
scores
score.
are coming through. Looks like Yeah, public is staying right there in the pocket with quite a few of our folks on their first run, sitting at a comfortable
70.
79. Lined up, ready for his second run, as are we.
Right. I have to remember which keyboard to type on because I've got my laptop on one side, my
Man, I'm
main
not gonna lie.
computer.
This this NASA setup I got going over here, trying to keep this thing up and running, is
Yeah. Oh, dude, I sent you a picture of my battle station for the day. It's a little crazy. Initiation into outer one, nicely done. Scraping the wall a bit. Oh,
no.
no. All right. Unfortunately, folks, that is going to be a 0 for his
Indeed,
second
it will be.
run. And he
Let
will
him-
not get a third chance to go, so we'll just let him finish out this run here and get on to our next driver. Think the nerves might have got the best of him, man.
Indeed. But he got one score put down, so that's
Yes, he did.
that's a positive. He is going to settle in with that 79, though. Currently sitting, I believe that's going to put him in the number 7 spot for the day. That's
Believe
gonna-
you are correct. And next up, we have S.O.G. Slim.
S.O.G. Slim.
A man who is not to be taken lightly on the console side of this
Not
game.
at all. I think we're just going to jump right to Slim's run. So as you see there, that puts Public right there at the number 7 spot with his 79. Slim's at the line, ready to go. We are ready to go.
We got lights. And he's off the line. Nice flick initiation, dab of the brakes to settle the car. You know a driver when you see one. Ooh, a bit of a wall tap there. Nothing crazy though, doesn't upset the line. Outer touch and go 1, inner 1, and outer 2 are nicely done. Transitions out to outer zone 2, right up against that green monster wall. Coming up to the touch and go 3 and 4, maybe a little shallow on outer touch and go 3, but nothing crazy. Dab of the brakes again, gets himself settled right through outer zone 3. Coming into inner touch and go 2, right across the line. Boy, I tell you what, these drivers are getting brave with that inside touch and go right before the finish line.
No kidding, man. They're just scrubbing right across it, huh?
I believe we're going to see a solid score.
Indeed. Matter of fact, the score is already in. We'll let y'all take a quick look back at that replay. When we come back, you will definitely see the score there.
And I was right. That is a solid first run score.
Indeed. Judges are being pretty damn quick with their scorings today. They're on the ball.
They are on it.
They ain't wasting any time getting those put in, which is great. It's helpful. Very good for us. So as you see there, first run, 87, currently would put him in the 3rd position. We are ready for his second run. See if he can improve that. Maybe knock
A couple more
Ryan
points
or-
on there.
or tie off the top spot there.
Clutch kick initiation right up to that outer wall. Dab of the brakes to settle the car. No wall scrapes this time, folks. All the way through outer 1. Solidly done. Outer touch and go 1 is about the best I've seen. Right up against that white line. Maybe a little shallow on outside touch and go 2, but nothing crazy. Outer touch and go 2, or outer zone 2 was nicely filled. Touch and go 3 and 4, about as close as you're going to get, folks. Outside zone 3, very nicely done. All against that red, white, and blue wall. Inside touch and go 2. Good Lord.
My man
How do
said,
you-
hang on. My man said, hang
How,
on.
Huh. Slim. Brother, you ain't gotta do me like that. My God. We. Folks, we're seeing some heaters today.
Indeed. Let this thing clear up here real quick. Once you watch that second run, we'll go side by side with these and let you see whether or not you can pick apart exactly how the scoring should have done.
Old Slim Jim threw it down, representing S.O.G like we how to see it. I don't even know what I just said there because that was not English, folks. I am sorry.
Man, English isn't hard.
How to see it. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but okay.
I mean, those runs were so tight.
Yeah, they were. I mean, the timing between the two runs was almost the exact same.
Indeed.
Phew.
Wait for these scores to finalize here. I believe we've got Mr. Kelton sitting at the line ready to go.
Yes, he is in that
Right.
Pro Drift Academy inspired R33.
All right. So, like we said, he's sitting there ready to go. As you see there, Slim's second run gives him an 89, moving him just above Dr. Brian by 1 point. Nicely seated in the second spot there. We are ready to see Kelton, see what he can do. Maybe he can come up here and take the top spot.
We got a flash of lights, rev of the engine, coming off the line. Little early flick initiation, love to see it. Dabbing of the brakes to keep himself settled on this outer wall. Lots of little minor adjustments in the line here. Judges are gonna be a little harsh on that. Outer touch and go one was decent, not as deep as we've seen so far, but nothing crazy.
Indeed.
Coming out to 3 and 4, nicely done. Transitions out to outer zone 3. Maybe a little bit of a late transition, but nothing that's going to hurt him too bad. And across the line. I'm a little confused on my end if maybe I was seeing some stuttering, but right there after that last inside touch and go, it seemed like he might have stopped drift a little early. But that could have just been on my end. Again, this is a video game.
Indeed. Waiting for the scores to come in here. Taking a quick look at the run there and see exactly what Brian's talking about.
Definitely just still waiting on the scores to come in.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and I do see the scores in. I was correct. I was correct. He did end drift before the finish line.
Not getting the scores to come through on my side, so bear with us just for a second.
Yep. Trying to scroll down to where I can see him.
Oh, okay. I see what happened there. We're clear. now.
Yeah. Yeah, he's on there twice for some odd reason.
All right, fair enough. We're good. I got it figured out.
Yep.
So yeah,
So
you're absolutely right, Brian. He did kind of just like laid it down right before the finish line. Judges are going to call that a 0 on that first run. So we'll line him up, send him right now, send him for the second run, see if he can improve on that. Find out if he can improve himself there.
yes, sir. Click initiation, taps the wall, has a slight straighten, but doesn't come out of angle too bad. Comes through the decel zone, dab of the handbrake to get himself out to the outer zone, outer touch and go 1. Bit loss of speed there, taps the wall again on outer 2. Touch and go 3 is very nicely done. Touch and go 4 is actually really well placed. Tap of the wall again on outer zone 3, comes through the inner touch and go 2 across the line.
He did solidly cross the line that time.
Yes, he did. He did not shut it down early, which we like to see.
Indeed. All right, we definitely have a score coming through here, which is a positive. That second
Second
run there is
run.
looking a lot better for sure. We're actually going to get an actual score on it here. Let me catch up.
There we go. Now I see it. My screen was going all wonky there too now.
All right, let's take a look. I think we've got our next driver at the line. We'll see the score of Kelton there in just 1 second. There you have it. Kelton sitting in the 9th spot with a 63 for his overall score. 0 chill at the line, ready to go.
Got lights, and he's off. Initiates into outer 1, bit shallow. Trying to adjust his car to get back up against that wall. But otherwise filled very nicely. It comes out to the 3 touch and goes, very nicely done. Outer zone 2, I am having a hard time today, folks. Zone 2 is filled very well. Touch and goes 3 and 4, nicely done. Transitions about as good. Oh, slight tire drop there, tapping the wall on outer 3 and across the line. Sometimes these guys just go so fast, you can't even call every zone. Phew.
Yeah, it gets a little bit wonky with the 1s and the 2s, right?
Yeah.
It would appear as though we're going to get some scores coming in here. We'll put that up for you just as soon as we got them.
Waiting to see him come through.
Yep, they're coming in right now, it looks like.
There it is. This one they had to watch a little bit more.
Yep, they had a couple of things they wanted to double check there, it would look like.
Yeah.
All right. Settling in for a score of 74 on his first run. Man knows the mark to reach now. Get on out there and get this second run in and see if he can improve that score a little bit.
We got the lights. Our driver's ready. And he's off. Floors it coming into outside zone 1. Flicks right out up against that wall. Nicely done. Big improvement on outer 1 already. Maybe an early handbrake there, not too sure. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Transitions nicely. Oh, little wall tap there, but nice fill of outer 2. Touch and goes 3 and 4. Might have been a little shallow, but nothing too crazy. All the way out for outer zone 3. Transitions into our last inside touch and go and across the line.
All right.
Still leaving some points on the table.
Scores are coming in for Zero Chill's second run. All right, let's take a look at those runs side by side, see exactly if we can determine the judges' minds here. He definitely did improve on the
Yes, he did.
second run. Looks like he went from a 74, bumped up 6 points to an 80, which is going to land him solidly in the 8th position overall. I think we got Josie at the line. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's take a look at Josie and see what he's got going on. As you can see there, that's going to fill in that top 10 from here on out. Somebody's going to drop off the bottom. Their name will no longer be broadcast. Josie is going to be the first one to try to knock off the bottom of the top 10 there.
Flick initiation right out to outer 1. Dab of the brakes to get his car settled. Coming out to the 3 touch and goes. Nicely filled for the first 2. A little shallow on the 3rd. Quick flick out to outer zone 2. Holding solid speed coming through here. Touch and goes 3 and 4. A bit shallow on 4. Not too bad. Comes up for outer zone 3. Leaves it a little early for our last inside touch and go and across the line. Nice run. He will put some points on the board, so he'll at least have that working for him.
Indeed. Let's take a quick look back and see what, take another look at that run here. Looked like he's a little shallow, mostly through outside zone number 1.
Yeah, a little bit. Nothing crazy though. Like I've seen worse. Definitely was shallow on outside touch and go too.
Yeah, it looks like he's a little shallow in a couple of 3 different zones there. It looks like the judges took that into account when they were getting their scores put together. My man's going to sit at a solid 73 for his first run. See if he can make that a little bit better.
Flicks out to outer one, bit shallow again. Dab of the brakes, really holding that brake, trying to get up to that wall. All the way around. Nice fill of touch and go one, inner one, outer two. Flicks out to outer zone two. A little shallow there, but trying to play it safe, keep these scores on the board. Touch and goes 3 and 4, nicely done. Transitions to outer zone 3, right up against that white line. Inside touch and go 2 and across the line. I believe we're going to see an improvement in score here, folks. I do believe we will see an improvement.
Do not disagree at all. Taking a look back of the replay there. While we get our next driver up here on the line, waiting for the final scores to come in. Pull up a quick side-by-side once this one rolls through. Let y'all take a look at it from both runs there at the same time. See how that looks.
Real consistent with outer one with the depth of zone between both runs.
Indeed.
Definitely made an improvement on the last 2 of the 3 touch and goes. He hit the 3rd and 4th touch and goes at about the same spot both runs. Definitely filled outer 3 better. And had the same proximity to the inside touch and go, the last inside touch and go for both runs, the exact same spot. That's hard to do, folks.
Indeed. He is going to improve a little bit on his original score there. Going to put him in at a 77 for the overall. It is going to bump Kelton out of the top 10, unfortunately. He's going to take that final number 10 spot. We do have Strube at the line.
Mr. Toaster Strudel. Ready to go for his first run of the day. We got lights, rev banging, engine popping, hauling ass down the straightaway, flicks into outer one. Oh, taps the wall, straightens out a good bit, keeps it going though. I do believe, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not going to say that's going to zero him out, but it's a good possibility. He is going to finish his run though, try and see if he can at least shake the nerves off. If that didn't do it, that one right there did. He's going to just drive it back to the line, get himself settled, or get disconnected by accident.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he didn't have some connection issues there.
I'm starting to think that's might have been the case because he just kind of stopped.
Yeah, and then disappeared out of the lobby, so we could have a connection issue here. We're gonna have to wait and see if he can get reconnected for a potential second run or maybe a rerun of his first, depending on how the judges feel about it. In the meantime, we'll watch the initial replay here.
I mean, if If he hadn't have zeroed, that would have been at least a solid score on the board.
Yeah,
Because he
agreed.
wasn't on a bad line at all through there. So we'll see what happens. I'm a little perplexed by that. Just waiting to see if we get any word on what happened.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if he's going to be able to get back in the lobby here. Hopefully. It doesn't appear as though he's going to be able to make it back in here, so I think we're just going to have to move on to our next driver. That's going to end up being a 0 for Mr. Strube.
Yeah, I do believe that is the case.
Try to get another driver up here on the line for us. Keep this thing rolling.
And I was confused there because his name was Strube. I thought it was the Struble. I was incorrect.
Yeah, you grabbed the wrong
Strube
guy.
and Struble are not the same person. Whew, I was confused. Next up is going to be Toaster Struble. The Struble. The
All right.
homie from Team Zoo.
Make sure I can get centered up on him here. All right, you're correct. That is Struble. Make sure we get his name in there appropriately. There we go. All right, so set, ready.
All of the tings. Solid flick initiation coming into outer one. Right up against that wall. Nice and deep, like how we see it. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely placed going through there. Transitions out to outer 2. About really nice deep on outer 2. Touch and goes 3 and 4 are very well done. Transitions out to outer 3. Might have been a hint of a tire drop on outer 3. Cutting it real close on that last inside touch and go and across the line.
Stopped about as short as he could. Let's see what the judges think about that run as y'all take a look back on the replay here. We got a few scores popping in. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Here comes the third.
Is Well, that
Looks like-
style judge.
Yeah, man, they are cutting no slack, huh? Looks like he's
Not
gonna
at
slide.
all.
He's going to end up with a 79 for his first run there, which does place him in the top 10. He does, just with that score alone, he is going to bump Josie down into the number 11 spot. But let's see if he can improve that on his second run here.
If you are ready, sir, I will
Yes,
send
sir.
the word.
Absolutely.
Got it. And he's off. A rocket ship down the straightaway, flick into outer 1, dab of the brakes to settle the car. right up against that nasty wall monster. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Little shallow, but not too bad. Transitions out to outer zone 2. A little angle correction, but not crazy. Touch and goes 3 and 4 are nicely done. Transition out to outer 3. Gets the car settled again. Coming through inner touch and go 2, and across the line he goes.
Taking a look back on that real quick. Let everybody evaluate. Letting the final scores come in there.
I believe we're going to see an improvement here.
Yeah, I think so as well. Looking at the scores as they're coming in.
Taking a look over into our burnout box over here, and our next driver's over here getting his tires warmed up. That's a slick looking car, man.
Who's in that whip?
That is Mr. Field Marshal
Field
in a
Marshal.
Mark IV Supra.
Well, you ain't kidding. That is a good looking ride, ain't it?
Yeah, it is. I like that color scheme. Yeah, Mr. Field Marshal is looking good over there in that Mark IV.
All right, final scores are in. It does look like Struble is going to sit solidly in the 7th position with an overall score of 81. Get our next driver up to the line, and we can make a move.
Stand by on that.
Sure.
Got some information coming through the pipelines.
Meanwhile, hopefully everybody's enjoying seeing the side-by-sides. I can tell you, Pillow Pants from S.O.G. is the mastermind behind the stream that you're seeing today. This is his baby that he has put together. I am doing everything that I can to try to live up to the expectations and the level that that Pillow has set here. Y'all can barely hear me, huh? I apologize. I can probably adjust that. How's that? Is that any better? Hopefully the stream is down with that. Okay, it appears as though we had a driver at the line.
Oh, yep, now he's pulling up.
All right. So, like I said, that's going to put Mr. Struble solidly in the number 7 spot. Getting Field Marshal up to the line here. I do believe we are ready, if they are ready.
Yeah. I think I saw a flickering of a light. Could be wrong, but I thought I did. Oh, he's got to pull himself up a little bit.
Yeah, I agree, Narco. It's a big W for Mr. Pillow.
Oh, absolutely.
Like I said, I'm trying to fill the shoes, man, and I hope I'm doing him justice here.
Technical difficulties with our cone car. He's getting himself ready to go.
In the meantime, I would like to give a quick shout out to Mr. Alex on your screen. If you're enjoying the overlay systems here where you're seeing the scores and all that kind of fun stuff, that is 100% the mastermind of that man. It's a little bit of a bear on the streamer side, but
It's a lot to do.
Yeah,
A lot of buttons to push.
He worked real hard making sure that looks as good as it does. That's 100% Alex. As soon as our cone car gets himself settled back in here, there we go. Now we got some lights. We're going to see what Field Marshal's got for us.
And he's off, taking off like a rocket ship down here. Flick initiation all the way out to outer 1. Little wavering here and there, but nothing too significant. Through the 3 touch and goes he goes. Nicely filled. Transitions out to outer zone 2. All the way through that green monster wall. Touch and goes 3 and 4. A little shallow on touch and go 4, about like we've seen all day. Tire drop apparently on outer 3. Comes through that inner touch and go and across the line.
Take a look back at that as we get the judges' scores in here.
Whew.
Ooh, we do have a score.
That was quick.
Indeed, they are not playing around today.
No, they are not. They are most definitely trying to get these runs in and done to move through this field.
So as you can see here, 76 for Mr. Field Marshal's first run. Got some room for improvement there. It's not quite cracking the top 10 there just yet, but he's got a
Not far off.
He's got a little bit more in him. He ain't far off. You're exactly right. We're ready if you are. Cone car making sure he's lined up right where he needs to be, giving plenty of room to get around it.
Yep. Don't need
If you're
anybody
used to-
smashing their car.
If you're used to watching like real life or even some of the more PC only competitions, they have the custom tracks where they have the chicane that they need to run through. We achieve that with our cone car, giving these guys the lead position, something to wiggle around, just like a chicane would be for real life competitions or some of the more modded map.
That, and it keeps the chase driver and the lead driver from drag racing off the start.
Indeed. We are definitely this whole competition that we run is console friendly. We feel like if you exclude the console guys, man, you're short selling yourself on some talent to watch.
Yep, and Field Marshal is making a run at it here. A little shallow through outer 1 and through the touch and goes. I feel like he's trying to compensate and overcome that first run, but he's filling these zones really nicely though. Touch and go 3 and 4, nicely done. Transitions out to outer 3, fills that zone from start to finish. Inside touch and go, and across the line he goes. I do believe our style judge is gonna have fun with that one, because that was a stylish run.
No kidding.
Fast, in the zones, quick snappy transitions. I believe that is going to be the last driver of our group.
Last driver of the group. All right.
So while we watch the replays, get these scores in.
Yeah, we'll get through this second run full replay here. We'll go side by side, let y'all compare, see if y'all agree with the way the judges are laying down their scores. If you're seeing some, if they're coming up and you think they deserve to come up, just like the judges, or if they go down, you get to see all of that. Looks like Field Marshal is going to make the top 10.
Yes, sir. It looks like he made a solid improvement of solid 4 points, and that's hard to get. Guys, I don't think y'all understand how tough these judges are being. These scores they're tough. Getting 1 point out of these judges is not an easy thing to do. So to improve 4 points from run to run, you're doing something.
Indeed. So he is gonna settle in with a score of 80. It's gonna put him solidly in the ninth position.
And so everybody knows that, yes, there is a top 10 on the screen, but we are taking 32 drivers for the battle stage.
Indeed.
So there will be a full field. The top 10 is just there to see who made the top 10 in qualifying. That is it. It is not a judgment system as far as who's going to make it and who doesn't.
Right. So as it stands right there, as you see, Field Marshal is going to take that number 9 spot. I'm sorry, I think I misspoke a minute ago as an 8. He's going to take the number 9 spot. We are going to take a quick break. Let y'all watch some of these ads that we got for y'all while we get the lobby set up and ready for our next group, which will be Group C. If you want the S in S chassis to stand for sexy, choose Body by Origin.
Nighttime. Or daytime. With Well, it's always break time.
And just like that, we have Group C in the lobby, ready to send the first driver here, Mr. Kaiju Denny. See if we can't shake up this top 10 a little bit.
If there's gonna be a group that's gonna do it, it's gonna be this one. Definitely gonna be this one. There are some killers in the midst here.
We have lights and we are ready to see if Mr. Denny can crack that top 10.
Here we go. Rocket ship down the straight line. Flick initiation. Oh,
Oh,
no,
no.
Denny! Smacks the wall. Zeroes out his run, but he's gonna finish it out like the sportsman that he is. Give us a show.
If nothing else, it's free practice, right?
Yes, sir. He's gonna shake them nerves off and just get himself a run.
All right. Let's take a quick look back at that. Make sure he gets see exactly where. I think he just sent it a little bit too hot there, bud.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, that wall just, I mean, he just sent it a little bit too hot, and that wall is so unforgiving. It just has no time for anybody. But good on him for finishing out his run, man. That's a big deal.
Who put that wall there?
Right. I mean, overall, even with the after the gathering himself back up, that's not a bad.
That was
not a bad run.
no, not at all. I've got a feeling if he's able to collect that first outer, my man is gonna be top 2. I'm gonna say it now, and somewhere in the top 2.
Indeed. So we're ready for his second run when Speedy's ready to send him on his way. Small adjustment, making sure he's right there on the line where he's supposed to be. We got lights. Call it, Brian.
3, 2, 1, go! Coming in like a rocket ship down the straightaway. Solid flick initiation. Dab of the brakes to get himself settled. Playing it safe on this first outer, but still nice and deep. Fills it all the way to the end. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. About the best we've seen them filled all day. Transitions out to outer 2. Right up against that white line. Folks, this is it. All 3 and 4, no tire drops, right up against the white line. Coming through outer 3, up against it again. Folks, what did we just see across the line? Holy shit. Guys, I don't know if y'all better be as excited as I am, because good Lord, what a run.
You like that one, huh, Brian?
That was killer.
Taking a quick look back on it here.
Oh,
Like you said,
man.
I think he played a little safe. He's a little nervous in that outside zone number 1, but as soon as he cleared that black and white wall, he put on a fucking clinic.
Yeah, no kidding.
Get through these replays here real quick. Get his final
No.
score put in.
He might have, on outer touch and go 4, touched the white line.
Yeah, it might have got him.
He
just
did
a
on
little bit.
3. I see it on the replay. On 3 and 4, he did tap the white line, just barely. If not, I swear to you, that would have been as close to 100 as we've ever seen.
Taking a look back at them there side by side, comparing one to the next. Obviously, it's the second one that we're really looking for there, right?
Yes, sir.
I think we got his counterpart sitting at the line ready to go, Mr.
Yes, sir.
Mason.
Another killer kaiju member.
So that second run that he put down there is going to land him solidly in the number 5 spot with an overall 84 as his score. So he left a little bit on the table there, but
Yeah.
still.
Playing it safe on that first outer run kind of hurt him a little bit, plus the 2 tire drops for 3 and 4.
Yeah, all you got to do is make the show, though, right?
Yep, I mean,
Obviously you want to get a highest seat as possible, but just getting in the show, man, that's all you got to do. You can work it all out during the battles.
Absolutely.
All right. So like we said, it's going to land Denny right there in that number 5 spot with an 84 overall. Mason is at the line ready to go, and we are ready to watch this one. I'm kind of excited about Mason.
Absolutely.
I've seen him running in some practices leading up to this. And I feel like we're going to get a spectacle here.
Yeah, we're going to get a good show here. A big body chaser. First one we've seen of the day. Flicks into outer 1. Dab of the brakes to try and settle the car. Get the back end a little closer to that wall. But nice fill of the zone regardless. Through the 3 touch and goes. You couldn't get any closer if you tried. Coming out to outer 2. Nice transition. Fills the zone all the way. Touch and go 3 and 4. Maybe a little bit on the table there, but not too crazy. Coming out to transition to outer 3, fills that zone all the way, coming through the last inside touch and go and across the line.
I tell you, Brian, you're absolutely right. The proximity that they're getting on that last inside clip is making me nervous every single time, dude. Every single time I'm like, oh my God, they're fixing to spin around in circles, and then they don't.
Yep.
It's just,
Yeah,
I'm too old for all of that.
I'm telling you, everyone, I'm just like, ugh.
It's making my old man heart jump every single time. We do have the scores in. Judges like what they see on that one. That's going to be a first run. First run is going to be an 88, everybody. Let's see if
I've
he's
got a little
something left
inside
in the bank.
information. He is sending it this run, folks. He played it safe on that first wall. He said he is sending it on this run.
He knows he's in the show. He ain't got nothing to lose. Let's see what he's got. See what he's got for us.
We got lights. 3, 2, 1, go. Off like a rocket ship. Flicks out to outer 1. Oh boy, he is right up against that wall, folks. Comes off the wall, coming through the 3 touch and goes. He weren't lying when he said he is sending it. This man is flying through the course. Outer zone 2 is nicely done. Coming up through the 3rd and 4th touch and goes. Still a little left on the table, not as deep as he could have been, but not bad. Right up against the white line for outer zone 3. Come through the last inside touch and go and across the line.
Holy moly.
Good God. I was trying to kind of keep myself in check there, but Jesus Christ.
We're going to get you a different mic, man. When you get wound up.
Yeah, it gets a little boogered up, I know.
No, it's good, man. It means you're excited. I'm for it. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. He's out there on his you see in the second run there. This is his go run. I think the judges are going to be friendly with the scoring this time.
I believe so.
We're going to get through this replay, pull up a side by side for y'all to check out while we get those scores finalized.
And we were absolutely right by looking at those scores. Oh man. And even still, I think the judges are they're fair, but they're strict on their scoring.
Indeed.
Because it was a solid improvement from run 1 to run 2. Still a few parts that he could have improved upon even further, but I mean, it was the score's very telling.
Indeed. So, we've got next drivers at the line. It's going to be S.O.G. O.G. Man, S.O.G. O.G. 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 O.G.
Yeah, no kidding. Tongue
A
twister.
bunch of OGs after each other.
whole
Final
lot of-
score for Mr. Mason is going to roll him into the number 2 spot with a nice, solid 91. Get our overlays to refresh here. There we go. OG is your current driver, and like you see right there, Mason sliding into that number 2 spot with a 91.
All right. Mr. OG sitting on the line, ready, rearing, ready to go. We got lights. And he's off. That 2J is screaming. Smooth initiation into outer one. Settles the car. Maybe a minor correction, but that's about as deep as we've seen on outer one. Good job coming through the 3 touch and goes. Could have been a little deeper on inside touch and go 1, but nothing too bad. Right up against that wall for outer zone 2. Through the 3rd and 4th touch and goes, leaving a little on the table, but you can make that up the next round. A little dab of the brakes to settle the car through outer 3, through the inside touch and go, and across the line.
Did he get all the way across the line?
I'm hoping he did. I'm hoping he did.
Let's take a look at the replay, see if we can catch it here as he finishes out the run there, see if he did get all the way across that line.
Yeah, really deep through outer one. That was the deepest I've seen anybody go without tapping the wall on outer one.
It's so hairy, man, through there.
Yeah. Oh, it's terrifying because you don't know which of the humps are gonna get you.
That's it.
He was definitely shallow on outer 4.
It looks as though the judges are going to say, yes, he did cross the line before he came all the way around. They're going to give him an 88 for his first
That
run.
is a killer first run score.
It's going to put him for sure in the top 5, top 4. But let's see if he can improve on that for his on his second run. He's still got Imperium's tie sitting right there at the top with that 92, so he's going to have to bring it if he wants to knock him off the top.
Yeah, he's really going to descend at this run. If he can do what he did on outer one last run, through all the zones on this run, it's going to be hard to stop him. Oh,
no! Our first helicopter of the day. I'm actually a little bit surprised that, that it's taken this long.
Pretty sure that driver just vomited in his helmet.
He did.
That man Beybladed for sure.
Absolutely a Beyblade. He is going to be a consummate professional, though, and go ahead and finish out his run here so we can get a quick little replay from him. Everybody get to see the full glory of the Beyblade.
Yeah, for real. Somebody call a medic. That driver is hurt.
So no need for a side-by-side on that one. We'll let y'all watch the Beyblade for a second. We know that that's going to be a 0 on his second run.
Yeah.
Let you
Pretty
just
sure
enjoy that replay. So his
that heavy
final
Supra.
score definitely going to be an 88, sitting him right there in the 5th spot, directly behind Dr. Brian.
That car came 5 feet off the ground when he hit that wall.
We do got our next driver at the line ready to go.
I could watch that helicopter moment 1,000 times a day and not get old.
S.O.G. Brandon is at the line, as you see there. OG's first run there does set him up in the top 10. He's definitely in the show for sure. Let's see what Brian has in the store for us.
Who? You mean Brandon?
I'm sorry, Brandon. My bad.
I'm not running today. I'm sitting here running my yap. Coming through the straightaway, flicks out into outer one. Little
Ooh.
wall tap there. That might have caused an angle correction. Not 100% sure. Comes to 3 touch and goes. Nicely done through there. All the way up against that outside wall for the outer 2. Really shallow on the 3rd and 4th touch and goes. He might have missed that 3rd one altogether.
Indeed.
Real shallow through outer 3. And a tap of the wall there. I believe that. I think he went up on the bank there before the finish line. We will see what the judges have to say about that one.
Take a look back at the replay. See if we can really identify those
Spots.
I think the judges are going to say that is a complete run. Not the best score we've seen all day, but they are going to call it a complete run.
Yeah.
They have a much better view of if they cross the line than we do here in the stream.
100%.
They are going to give Mr. Brandon a 67 for his first run. If my mouse would allow me to click where I want to click rather than making up its own mind as to where it wants to go, we can actually update that and show you guys. Wow, that was weird. My mouse was just like, I was pushing right and it was going left. There we go. So there you go. Brandon, first run of 67. Got plenty of room for improvement here. Let's see if he can actually get that up a little bit on his second run here. Looking a lot better in the outside zone 1.
Yes, he is. Sorry about that. My brain kind of shut off for a second. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. A little shallow on inside touch and go 1. Filling it out though. Gets all the way out to outer zone 2. Much better than the last run. Sets himself up to unfortunately drop a tire on outer touch and go 3. Coming through outer zone 3. Another tap of the wall there. And oh no! He tried to get greedy with that inside touch and go and smacks the wall with the front end of his car.
Indeed, a couple of back-to-backs there with the things that we've been nervous about all day.
Yeah. Yeah, that is really unfortunate. That is man on him. He got a score on the board. From the looks of it, he should still be in the show for now. We will see how the rest of the scores line out for the rest of the afternoon.
Indeed.
Our next driver is going to be Miss Dark Knight from our very own Team S.O.G.
Yep. Let me take a break real. Maybe not. Yeah, we're gonna need to take a break real quick. I got to figure out what's going on with my mouse here. I may have to change the batteries.
Okie dokie.
Let's jump to a quick commercial break. We'll come back and reset and make sure that we can put this thing on for you all the way it's supposed to be.
Nighttime. Or daytime. With Well, it's always break time.
All right, folks. Sorry about that. Had to take care of some battery issues on my end. That's a skill issue for me. I should have thought about that. But so as you can see there, Brandon finishes with a final score of 67. Got a full 0 on that second run. Unfortunately, not going to put him in the top 10, but could still put him in the show. We are taking a full 32 with some reserves, so he's got an option to come out there and battle. Right now, we got the line Miss Dark Knight from Team S.O.G. ready to go when she is.
We got lights. She's taking off in her trusty Corvette that she is always in. Coming through outer one, little shallow but still in the zone. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done through touch and go 1, maybe real shallow on touch and go 2. Nice fill of outer zone 2. Coming up to touch and go 3 and 4. Leaving a little bit on the table. A little bit tire drop on outer 3, causing her to correct a little bit. Nicely done through inside touch and go 2 though, across the line. Back ready to go for her second run. We're going to check the replay real fast while we wait on them to get their scores in.
Scores are coming through right now. Looks like that first run is going to get Miss Dark Knight a 71.
Yes, sir.
Definitely got some room for improvement.
Guys, just a little shout out here. Mr. KJ Drift also runs a web mag called Poetic Tunes. Our top 3 qualifiers are going to get a shout out and a slot in his upcoming issue.
Nice.
So
Keep
that
an
is
eye
a
out
big
for,
W.
For Ion's newsletter as well from Team SOD.
Absolutely.
He's going to be covering the entirety of our season, so make sure you keep an eye out for his newsletter.
Yes.
We are ready for Miss Dark Knight's second run.
Three, two, one, go, and she is off. Smooth transition into outer one. Gets right up against that wall. Nicely done. Gets a little shallow as she goes through there. Might have exited a little early. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Leaving quite a bit of room on the table for that one. Outside zone 2 was filled nicely. Touch and goes 3 and 4, just still leaving a bit on the table. I think she might have too much grip in the front end of that car. Fills out outer zone 3 nicely, coming through and across the line she will go. I believe we will see at least a slight improvement in score from run number 1 to run number 2 there for Miss Dark Knight.
I believe that's correct.
Very well done.
Take a look back on that second run through there.
Corvette putting out all the smoke.
Absolutely. Take a quick look at those side by side as we finalize the scoring and updating here.
Waiting on the scores to come through.
Looks like Miss Dark Knight is going to settle in with a final score of 76. It's
So yeah, it was
not going to quite crack the top 10, but it was definitely an improvement over the first run.
just a bit. 5-point improvement, still a solid improvement nonetheless. Didn't see her move up in slots, but her score did improve.
Absolutely. So we'll head back down to the track. We've got
PDC ham. Makes me want a ham sandwich.
If I am not mistaken, this guy was on, saw him on TikTok.
Oh.
I was like, bro, you got some skills. You ought to come over here in our server and hang out with us. Next thing you know, he's still on
Nice.
track getting ready to qualify.
And he's off. That lovely Mark V Supra. Initiation into outer one. Little dab of the brakes to keep his car settled through outer one. Keep him in his place. Nicely done. All the angle through the 3 touch and goes. Transitions out to outer 2. Tap of the wall. Slight tire drop. Nicely filled of outers. Touch and go 3 and 4. No, that is going to be too much. Center just a little too hard there, bud. Center just a little too hard.
Was looking really good leading up to that, though. I mean, a wall
really
tap here
was.
and a correction there. Nothing like crazy. It just right there at the end kind of got him.
Yeah, no, he had a solid run going up until that point. It wasn't going to be the craziest score we've seen, but it was going to be a score nonetheless.
Indeed.
So now, unfortunately, with that 0 out, we're just going to wait for the replay to finish, and we'll send him again for his second run. Try and see if we can actually get through this one without letting the nerves take over.
Right. There you see it just there, just a little bit too much of a rotation getting into that last outer zone was just enough. So as you see there, he is going to have a full 0 for that run. Lined up, ready to go for the next one. I have no doubt he can improve on that 0.
No, not at all. With the way that first run was ending up, he definitely has it in him to finish out a better score.
100%.
We got lights. We got some revving. He's taking off. I don't know why I'm talking like this. Flicks out into outer zone 1. Leaving a little room to play it safe there. Dab of the brakes to get him in. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Leaves a little on the table, but not a whole lot. Flicks out to outer zone 2. Fills it nicely. Through the touch and goes 3 and 4. Not too bad, actually. Very nicely done. Slight tire drop on outer 3, but he does not tap the wall or straighten. And across the line he goes.
Yeah, we should definitely be seeing a score drop on this one.
Absolutely. Played it safe enough to get a score in, but still did what he had to do to make it a score worth seeing.
Agreed. Like we said, all you got to do is get in the show. Now, you want to come out here and do the best you can, right? Everybody wants to be at the top of the board, get bragging rights.
Absolutely.
But all you got to do is get in the show, man.
Next up is going to be Mr. Spartan Lord.
Oh, wow. Let y'all watch a couple of let y'all see the side-by-side here. Can really identify the differences in the 2 runs there.
Spartan Lord is representing Team Imperium.
Indeed. Looks like Mr. Ham is going to sneak into that top 10 place with a final score of 83.
Nice. Just slides into that top 10 slot. That is
centered up on Spartan here, and we'll take a look at what he's got for us. Spartan's been a killer in seasons past.
Absolutely.
Force to be reckoned with. Let's see if he's back on his game.
Let these side-by-sides finish running through.
Go. We got Spartan there, as you see.
There it is.
The Ham sitting at the number 10 spot.
We got revving. We got lights. And he's off.
Man, so anxious to get sideways, he did it getting around the cone car.
Flick initiation. Taps the wall. Gonna count as a tire drop and nothing more. Doesn't affect the angle any. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done. Transitions out to outer zone 2. Riding that green wall. Through outer touch and go 3 and 4. Nicely done. Right up against that white line. Outer zone 3 is filled very nicely. Coming through for the inside touch and go. Just barely gets through there without tapping that wall. And across the line he goes.
Look back on our replay here. My man was so anxious to get going. He got fully sideways just getting around the cone car.
Yeah, no kidding.
Just digs into that. The first half of that outside zone number 1 was about as pretty as it's going to get.
Yeah, he was right up against that wall. It was a wonky initiation, but he definitely got her there.
Indeed. Judges' scores are coming in. They seem to appreciate the attempt, number 1 from Mr. Spartan.
Definitely
Going
do
to
that.
settle him in right there with a 89. Let's see if he can add a point or two there and take that second or third spot.
All right. And he's off. Much better initiation, smoother initiation into outer 1. Plays it a little safe for the first half. Definitely cleans it up on the second half. Through the 3 touch and goes, he will go.
Ooh-wee.
Coming out to outer zone 2. Slight tire drop through outer 2, unfortunately. But the rest of this run is looking like a heater of a run. Cleans out outer 3. Comes through the last inside touch and go and across the line. A nice set of runs there by Mr. Spartan Lord.
Indeed. Like I said, he's for a long time.
He's a
Spartan. You gotta account for that guy. He's showing exactly why on these runs here.
Next up is going to be Wolfie in a Lexus, big body Lexus RC500.
Well, boys and girls, I don't
RCF,
think,
really.
I don't think the batteries were the issue. Might be a little bit of a hardware issue on my end. Good grief. The lag on my computer is crazy. I apologize. You should be seeing your side-by-sides by now. There you go. Final score coming in for Mr. Spartan is not going to improve his status, it doesn't look like.
Spartan Lord. No, he actually did not improve his 89. It was an 87. So still puts
correct.
him in the top 5. And this is going to be our last driver for this group, Mr. Wolfie. And I do believe they're going to do a lobby reset.
All right, that
After
sounds
this
like a winner
group.
to me.
Same. Just letting these side-by-sides run through.
Yep, I'm just trying to get everything situated over here on my end, make sure that we got all the overlays updated.
Absolutely.
All right, we should be good to go. As you see there, I don't know exactly what's going on. Mr. Spartan Lord's just kind of rolling
Cruising?
through.
Where
Probably
is
need
he
to get
going?
there. I have no idea. Is he doing it like a victory lap or something?
What is happening?
I have no idea
Oh.
what's going on with that.
Oh, he caught it.
He's just cruising by there. He's like, man, I made this livery and everybody's going to see it. All right, I see him pulling around on the backside there. Let's let him get settled down, and then we can send Wolfie here. We should be good to go now, yeah.
We got lights. And he's off. Solid initiation into outer one. Throwing that big body Lexus right up against that wall. Dab of the brakes to keep the car settled. Nothing too crazy. Through the 3 touch and goes he will go. Nicely done right through outer zone 2. Coming up to touch and go 3 and 4. Maybe a little shallow, leaving a bit on the table. Nothing too crazy. Right up against that white line for outer zone 3. Through the inside touch and go, and across the line he goes. Solid first run if I've ever seen it.
Indeed. Take a quick look back on that. I don't know if y'all noticed it or not, but my man put in some work on that livery.
Absolutely. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous car. I love the blue, and then you've got the crazy anime rat on the side of the car.
Indeed. Judges' scores are coming in for his first runs there.
Solid score of a 81.
Indeed.
For his first run.
Let's get back to
Landon.
the line and see what he's got in store for us for his second. Got some room to improve there.
Absolutely. We got lights. And he's off. Flicks it out to the outer one, right up against that wall. That is a scary spot to be. Oh, taps the wall just a little. Oh, no!
That's unfortunate.
Wall Monster got him. Wall Monster got him. That was looking to be a heater. But he's going to finish it out. Be a true sportsman. This would have been a killer run if he didn't tap that wall.
Absolutely. Take a look back on that. That is for sure going to be a 0 on his second run, but with an 81 on his first one, doesn't quite crack the top 10, but definitely should land him in the show, no problem. That is in fact going to be the case. So Wolfie will finish out with a overall score of 81. I think we're going to cut to a quick break. We'll get the last group in here. We're going to change up the lobbies, get a refresh, and be back in just a minute.
or daytime. With Well, it's always break time.
If you want the S in S chassis to stand for sexy, choose Body by Origin. As you can see, we have the next driver coming to the line. Team Misfortune's Scallywag is going to come out here and throw down a couple of runs, see if he can't knock some more of these top 10 people off. Ty still sitting at the very top of the board right now with a 92. It's kind of tight up there at the top. Just a couple of 3 points separating everybody. We're going to see if Scally's got something in store for us.
Alright, I got him. Go ahead and send it. 'Cause we,
Indeed.
as far as I know, we are ready.
We are ready.
We got lights. And he's off. That BMW M3. Smooth initiation. The outer one. Got a bit of dab of the brakes there to keep him settled. All the way through outer one. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done through the 3 touch and goes. Coming out outer zone 2. Just a bit of a wall tap and a tire drop. Solid run nonetheless. Touch and go 3 and 4. Nicely done. Outer zone 3, right up against that white line. Through the last touch and go, and across the line he goes.
Pretty solid first run, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely.
Of course, our opinion is worth nothing, Brian. It's all about the judges and what they think.
Yeah, our opinion is just that, an opinion.
Exactly.
We're not judges. We don't make the calls. We're just here to make sure you are entertained.
Judges are looking favorably upon him. Looks like Scally is going to settle in with a first run score of 81.
Nice.
Let's see if he's got a little bit more in store for us for his second run here.
Got lights. And he's off. See if we can flick it in there, get right up against that wall, fill out outer zone 1. As we know, he has this capability of doing. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. A little bit of a late break there to get himself out for outer touch and go 1, but nothing crazy. All the way up against outer zone 2. Coming through the last 2 of our outside touch and goes 3 and 4. Nicely done on those. A little shallow on the beginning of outer zone 3, but finishes out deep. And across the line he will go.
I would say that's an improvement.
I spotted some spots of improvement there. He still made a couple of mistakes, but nothing that we haven't seen all day. And nothing that I feel like would affect his score enough to drop him in points.
Agreed. Naturally, we're going to have to wait for the judges to confirm our thoughts, or just prove to us how dumb we are, one or the other. As I see the scores coming in now, it does look like he is going to bump up a little bit.
Looks like our next driver is in the burnout box. Coming to the line.
Scallywag is going to increase that score. He is going to settle in for a 88.
Yes. Very, very good improvement. 7-point improvement. Very well done.
It's a pretty big leap indeed.
Our next driver is going to be TTV Baggage from Team Bagish. Sorry, Bag-ish from Team Misfortune.
Quite a few Team Misfortune guys showing out today.
Yes, sir.
Might be the largest team presence we've seen so far. As you said, Baggish is back as at the line. Looking over there at that top 10, as you see Scallywag sneaking up in there. Let's see what Mr. Baggish has for us.
We got lights. 3, 2, 1, go. Smooth initiation by Baggish. Right through outer zone 1. Getting his car nice and settled. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Fills out outer touch and go 1 nicely. Maybe left a little bit of room on the table for outer 3. Outer zone 2 was nicely filled. Touch and go 3 and 4. Transition all the way over for outer zone 3. Left it a little early though. And across the line he will go. I believe he was across the finish line when he shut it down.
It certainly looked like it to me. Scores are coming in. Going to have some room for improvement here if he wants it.
Absolutely.
My man pushing it right up against the edge of the specs on that camber on his front tires.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, as it stands, it looks like it's going to come in as a 83 for his first run score. He's got some ground to make up here. Right now, he's tied for 10th place. All he needs is one more point, and he can solidly take 10th. And he's off. Nice, smooth initiation as well on that second run.
Yeah, really nice initiation right up against that wall for outer 1. Coming through the 3 touch and goes a little shallow on the first outside touch and go. A tire drop on the second. Right out to the white line on outer zone 2 though. Nicely done. Touch and goes 3 and 4, leaving a little room on the table, but still filling out the zones. Tire drop on outer zone 3. Touch and go 2 is very nicely done. Across the line he goes. I believe we might see might see some improvement on this run, but I do believe he did make more errors this second run than he did the first.
You got a much better eye for it than I do, so I'm going to take your word. We are looking back on the replay right now for sure. See if the audience agrees with you. According to the scores,
that's okay.
That's right. If they don't, that's okay. There's something about that second run. Like he found his groove a little bit better for me. Like he was smoother in his second run for sure.
He was definitely smoother.
Let's look at them side by side here if we can. See if we can't learn something there.
Our next driver is going to be Mr. Vengeful. Running all of the front cambers.
Yeah, these boys like that camera, don't they?
I don't see it necessary, to be honest with you. At least not how this game handles.
Yeah, but sometimes you know we talked about it last season a lot with the if you feel good, you run good, right?
Yep, and that's exactly it.
So Baggish is going to improve on that. Actually, the judges saw it differently than you did. He is actually going to settle in with an 89 as his final score. That's going to kind of push him up the leaderboard there to the number 5 spot.
Oh, good stuff. Way to go, Baggish. Bagman.
All right. Vengeful is at the line, ready to see if he can figure out a way to get a 93. Nobody's been able to top it just yet. Ty is sitting solidly at the top.
We got lights. And he's off. Shoots down through the straightaway. Smooth initiation. Slight wall tap there. Tapping the brakes to get the car settled back. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done. He's going to transition and go out to outer zone 2. Try and get up against that white line. Doesn't quite get there, but still fills the zone nonetheless. Pretty shallow on these 2 touch and goes there, but nicely done through outer zone 3. And across the line he will go. Now lost a little momentum right before the finish line, but hey, he kept it in drift and kept going, so that's all that matters.
Indeed. We'll see what the judges have to say about that first run there. Scores are definitely coming in. Scores are getting here quicker than we can get the replay done. We talked about that earlier.
No
Judges are Johnny on the spot today.
Yeah, they are. Like to see it, though. That's
Indeed.
what we like to see. Definitely left a lot on the table, though, with that first run.
Agreed. It felt like he was a little maybe he shook the nerves.
Yeah, I believe that's
run.
what's going to happen with what we're seeing from a lot of these guys is they're going to come in. The first run's going to be a little shaky, and the second run is going to be much better.
Indeed. Sitting at a 75 on his first run, prepped and ready to go for run number 2.
Lights, and he's off. Big flick initiation. Puts that back end right up against that wall. Nice and deep. All the way around that wall. Nicely done. That's definitely an improvement there. Little shallow on outer touch and go 2, but not too bad. Right up against a white line for outer zone 2. Coming through the next 2 outer touch and goes. Real shallow, guys. Really shallow, but he gets right out there for outer zone 3. Maybe a slight tire drop on the white line, and across the line he goes.
Yeah, he just seemed to struggle with that coming off of the going into those last 2 touch and goes. Seemed to be an area where he was just struggling a little bit.
As has been the case with a couple drivers, to be honest.
Indeed.
This ain't meant to be easy, though, folks.
You know, that touch and go right there at the bank, man. That's that one's tricky. If you got a longer wheelbase car, it's easier. If you got a short wheelbase, it's just over if you touch it.
Yep.
So we'll let the judges' scores come in. We'll take a minute here and highlight Mr. Ventral's runs. Pull up that side by side in just a second. So he is going to improve. There is going to be an improvement in his score there. Like we talked about, it looked like he was going to settle in after that first run. Looks like he is going to round out his 2 runs with an overall score of 80. Not quite in that top 10, but certainly good enough to get into the show. No doubt about that.
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, we have MTX sitting at the line, ready to go. We're ready for him if he's ready for us.
killer looking RX-7 there.
No kidding. Man after my own heart with that RX-7.
We got lights and he's off. Smooth initiation to that
No
outer
kidding.
wall. Just grinding the rear bumper on that wall. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done. Places his car right about. That was a little shallow on outer zone 2, but nothing crazy. Touch and goes 3 and 4 though are very nicely done. Transitions for outer zone 3 right up against that white line. Coming through the last touch and go and across the line. Solid first run.
Man, it's trying to give me a heart attack with that last inside.
It's terrifying.
Every time, dude. When they rub it that close, I'm just like, oh. I mean, I just pinch up, waiting for them to go into a full Beyblade mode.
Kind of scary.
Pretty solid first run there. Gonna guarantee, well, maybe not guarantee, but for the moment, anyways, he's gonna sit up here in the top 10 with us, with a score of 86. Let's see if he's got a little bit left there for the.
I love
for the
how
second
somebody's
round.
saying I'm brain dead in the chat. Calling me brain dead. That's funny.
All right, let's see what MTX has for a second run here.
I was just about to type it. All right, shooting down the straightaway. Nice flick initiation right out to that outside wall, all the way around outer 1.
There we go.
Cuts it out for the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done on that inside touch and go. Transitions out to outer zone 2, all the way through. Gonna come out for outer touch and go 3. Slight tire drop on touch and go 3. But so far, that's about the only mistake. Oh no, tire drop on outer zone 3 as well. And across the line he'll go. I do believe, though, even with those 2 mistakes, he did make an improvement on that run.
Could very well be. We'll have to see what the judges think while y'all take a look at the replay there. My apologies. Take a look at the side by side. Apparently,
Yeah.
Oh, we said, you know what? We're ready. Let's just see it. It does look like he is going to improve on that score. Give him a couple of 3 more points there. Looks like he's going to settle in with an 89 on that second run.
It's very, very nice. Love to see it. Love to see it.
Puts him in the number 5 spot for the moment.
Yes, it does.
Looks like we got his teammate at the line.
Yes, we do. G or Gee? I'm not sure which.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how to say that either.
G the general.
All right. So like we said, that's going to put MTX in that number 5 spot with his 89 on his second run. Gee is at the line ready to go. See if he can bump his own teammate down a little bit. This Team Cavalry don't recall them from last season. Good
I
to see some
do
new,
not either.
fresh blood out here.
Looking like a new team, real good with deliveries. Flick initiation right out to that outside wall. Smooth through in outer zone 1. Nicely done. Comes through the touch and goes. A little shallow on the first one. Nicely done on the inner one. Transitions out to outside zone 2. Little wall tap. Just real shallow on the outside touch and go 3 and 4. Transitions for outer zone 3. Drops a tire there. Coming through and across the line he will go.
Did he get across the finish line before he slipped up on the bank? That'll be for the judges to decide. They have a better view of it than we do, but that would be a 0 if he actually did that.
Yes,
and it would be
it
unfortunate
would.
because that was a solid run.
Yeah, that was a killer run right there. And it does appear that he did cross the finish line before going up on the bank.
All right. The judges see it a little bit differently than us as I see the scores coming in. They're taking a watch back on that to see if he actually did slide off before he finished the. Our judges actually use the in-game Kino replay system, so they're able to actually get a multitude of views. And after a second look there, it does appear as though that's going to be the decision. It is going to be a 0 for that one. He just stepped out of the course boundary there just before he crossed the finish line. That's unfortunate too, man, because I thought that was a pretty hot run.
That was a solid first run, but he still has one more to be able to improve upon that. Make sure he doesn't get up on that bank before the finish line.
So we are set and ready to see if he can run another one just like that, but just hold it a little bit tighter coming up to the finish line.
Taking off like a rocket ship down the straightaway. Flicks right out to that outer zone for outer zone 1. Filling it very nicely. Dab of the brakes to keep the car settled. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Very nicely done. Big improvement there. Transitions for outer zone 2 right up against that white line. Doesn't drop a tire. Through the last 2 outside touch and goes. Another solid improvement there. Transitions to outer zone 3. Slight tire drop, but still making improvements all the way across the board and across the line.
Came all the way out again. Let's see if he actually cleared that white van this time before crossing over. Man, I would hate to see those 2 runs be scrapped, but we got the course guides for a reason. Unfortunately, my camera view doesn't quite grab that
van.
Yeah, that van good enough to know whether or not we're going to be sitting with a oh, you can see right there where he had to make an adjustment right as that inside clip. That could be
that could have been what sent him out too. Just waiting on the scores to come in. Looking for his name here. I don't quite see it.
From what I see, the judges are pretty confident on that second run. Was the second verse same as the first?
Same issue as the first. So that is our first 00 of the day.
Indeed.
Hate to see it with a run like that.
Yeah, that last little zone there, man, just hung him up for whatever reason.
Our next driver is going to be Kaiju's very own Taco Tuesdays. My favorite day of the week.
I love a Taco Tuesday. Unfortunately, his name's a little bit too long for us to get it all into the overlay.
Yeah. Taco versus Kaiju Taco.
It is going to be Taco up. We are ready for him to send his first run. Yeah, that's really unfortunate for Guy there, man. Those were some pretty good runs.
Solid
The taco is
initiation coming into outer one, right up against that white wall with that E30 BMW, lifting a front tire coming through the 3 touch and goes.
Man, so I only need 3 wheels.
Transition right up against that green wall. Slight correction to angle there, but nothing crazy. Coming through the last 2 outer touch and goes, transitions nicely into outer zone 3. And across the line he goes. Now, I gotta say, I think that's the best fill of outer zone 3 that we've seen all day.
It's been pretty solid. You can tell he's got quite the soft suspension there. He's a little bouncy even on West Coast, which West Coast track is actually pretty smooth. So that means he's running soft suspension. Judges' scores are coming in. My man is definitely going to get on the board. Got a little bit of a room for improvement here, though.
Solid with this line. I've drove with him a couple times in practice lobbies. Dude is a solid dub driver.
Indeed. So they're going to slide him in with an 81 for his first run. So like we said, some room for improvement.
We got lights, and he's off. Flick initiation right out to outer zone 1. Keeps it right along that wall. Little tap of the wall, but nothing insane. Filling out these outer touch and goes like you know he knows how to do. Slight tire drop there on outer zone 2, but he's still able to keep the car sideways. Flicks the car out to outer zone 3, another tire drop. This one might not be as good as the first run, folks. Looks like he might have shut it down right before the finish line.
Indeed.
And that was 2 or 3 consecutive tire drops, which would have zeroed out his run anyways.
Yeah, from the looks of things, that's exactly going to be the judge's standpoint. It looks like they're going to give him a full 0 on that second run, but lets him have an 81 for the first run. That's definitely going to be enough to get him in the show.
Oh my lord! I just realized who our next driver is.
Who's that?
Toady from Team Royal.
Oh boy.
I'm not sure how many of y'all watching are familiar with Team Royal, but every last one of them is a killer.
Well, hopefully Mr. Toady can live up to the hype.
I'm telling you right now, I've competed against several of the Team Royal members in VDS and VDM. I've never actually ran against one of them, but I have been in the same competitions as them, and those guys send it.
Understood.
Every time. Always at the top of the points boards, always at the top of the quali boards.
No time like the present. Let's see what Mr. Toady from Team Royal has got. Definitely have lights.
And he's off. There we go. Coming down the straightaway. Flick initiation with that IS300 right up against the wall. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done. Places the car right where he needs it to be. A little shallow on outer zone 2. Try to play it a little safe, I'm thinking. Trying to just get a run on the board for this first run and come out swinging on the second run. Nicely filled of outer zone 3. Playing it kind of sketchy on that inside touch and go. That was close.
Indeed. Flirting with a
Across
lot of the
the line
zones
he
there.
goes. Yeah.
Take a look back on that run. I feel like there's some room for improvement.
Oh, absolutely.
Kind of got the nerves shook.
Yeah, I really think some of these drivers' strategy is to play it safe on the first run and send it on the second.
It sure seems that way, doesn't it? Judges
We've
do have
seen
a score in.
quite a few drivers that make significant improvements on the second run.
Exactly. All right, so as you see there, the judges give him a 77 for his first run. Definitely got some points to make up here if he wants to crack that top 10.
Yep. And he's off. Like a light bulb, he is off. Flicks it out to outer zone 1. Slight wall scrape there. He is really sending it on this run, though. Just barely doesn't make it out to that outside touch and go 1. Definitely fills the other 2 very nicely. Gets right up against that white line on outer zone 2. Coming through touch and goes 3 and 4. Nicely done. Flicks it out to outer zone 3. Fills that as about as good as you can get. Plays it real close to the wall on that inside touch and go, and across the line he goes.
All right, so that puts
I
it in
feel
the
an
books for
improvement
him.
on that one.
I think so as well. We're definitely going to see what the judges have to say about that. We're going to look back here on his second run. Let y'all have a full screen view of his second run there. Then we'll jump into your side by side so you can compare them just like the judges would, I suppose. I don't know why I said compare like I did. That sounded super hick. Did it not, or is it just me?
Just a little bit. I wasn't trying to say
Compare?
anything.
Y'all don't compare them? All right, so there we go. Let's see what that. There you go. Now you can compare them.
Compare. Gotta get the comparison.
So there is going. It does look like there is going to be an improvement to his score there. Not a lot, but definitely an improvement.
Significant enough to keep him in the show.
Indeed.
And our next group is getting ready to get brought in, and there are 9 of them.
So that was the last one of that particular group.
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's take a quick break. The final score for Toady there is going to be a 78. So that doesn't put him in the top 10. Might still have enough to get into the show. We'll have to see as the thing shakes out. But we're going to take a quick break while we load up the lobby with our next competitors, and we'll be right back with you with some more qualifying runs. want the S in S chassis to stand for sexy, choose Body by Origin.
Nighttime. Or daytime. With Well, it's always break time.
you want the S in S Chassis to stand for sexy, choose Body by Origin.
Nighttime. Or daytime. With Well, it's always break time.
All right. Final 7 competitors are in the lobby, ready to go. We got, I'm assuming this is Cough at the line?
I'm gonna say calf because it's double A. So.
Yeah. Either way.
All right. Ready for his first run. And he's off.
Just like that.
Flick of initiation right out to outer zone 1. Filling the zone nicely. All the way around. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Leaving a little bit of room on the table, but as we've seen, you can still get a solid score playing it safe. Outer zone 2 is filled nicely. Coming through the 3rd and 4th touch and goes. Nicely done. Looking to be a solid run here, Curdy.
Indeed.
Outer zone 3 was very nice. Through and across the line.
Yeah, that looked
Back
pretty
up the
solid to me.
line. That was a good run. Played it safe in quite a few spots, but still safe enough to get a score on the board.
Scores are definitely coming in. Take a quick review of the replay here as the scores finalize.
Yeah, outside touch and go 2 was pretty shallow.
Yeah, that switchback right there up against the bank, it seems to make everybody nervous.
Yeah. Makes me nervous.
Calf sitting with a solid 80 on his first run. Got some room for improvement there, but not bad, not bad. Ready for his second run, as are we. Let's see if we can bump that up 10, 12 points.
He definitely has it in him, it would appear. Flicks the car right up into the wall on outer zone 1. Getting about as close as you can get. Maybe might have scraped it there, not really 100% sure. Coming through the 3 touch and goes, definitely an improvement through there. Flicks it out to outer zone 2, fills it all the way through. Touch and goes 3 and 4. Might have left a little room on touch and go 4, but not bad. Dropping a tire on outer zone 3. And across the line he goes. I'm going to say that's an improvement.
It sure looks like it to me, man. But we talk about it all the time. The last thing I want to do is be a judge. Good
Yeah,
grief.
no, absolutely not.
I'm just impressed by what they're doing. They're having to be like super critical, and I'm just sitting here just enjoying watching the drifting, man.
Yeah, no, I was asked at one point if I wanted to, and I said no.
Right on. So yeah, that second run did look a little bit better as we're watching the replay back here. It's a little bit deeper on that outside touch and go 3 than he was on his first run, but still kind of just missed touch and go 4. Take a look at those side by side real quick.
Man, I mean, that for coming out like he did, my man threw down 2 heater runs.
Agreed.
And was able to take what he was given from the first run and improve upon it. That's a W in my book.
The judges are going to give him an 84 for that second run. It's not going to be quite good enough to crack the top 10 just by 1 point, but that puts him in the 11th spot. However, at the line right now is stealth. Uh-oh.
What happened?
Oh, I got a weird situation going on with my buttons. There we go. Now we got stealth on screen, ready to go.
Here we go. All right. I had to wait to give the word till it was fixed.
I just pushed the wrong button, bro.
All right, flick initiation coming out of outer zone 1. Nicely done. That's about as deep as you can get on that wall. Coming through the 3 touch and goes, leaving a little room on the table for that one, but not too bad. Filling outer zone 2 all the way through. Coming through the next 2 sets of touch and goes on this switchback here, right next to the bank. Nicely done. Slight tire drop there on outer zone 3, and across the line he will go. I think he missed all of that last inside touch and go though.
See what the judges have to say about that run as y'all take a look back on it.
Absolutely. You know what kills me is in my screen, I don't see the underglow, but in the replay I'm seeing underglow.
Huh, that's wild. Yeah, I see it in the lobby. There it goes. He turned it off. Good man. Or ma'am. I don't know. Judges are saying that was good enough for 80 points.
Solid first run there.
Indeed. Second run is ready, as are we. Man, that's saying something when you can lay down at 80 and it's not good enough to get you in the top 10.
Yeah. We've had some killer runs today, I will say that. And he's pop banging and off the line he goes. Or she. Little dab of the brakes to settle the car into outer one. And right up against that wall, scraped it a little bit, but nothing crazy. Through the 3 touch and goes. That's about the best I've seen those 3 touch and goes done all day long.
That was solid.
Outer zone 2 filled very nice. Touch and go 3 and 4. Bit tire drop on 4. That is odd. That is not a place we've seen tire drops before. Outer zone 3 is filled nicely. Inside touch and go was still a little playing it safe on that wall there, but can't blame him.
No doubt.
I'm going to say that's an improvement.
If it ain't, I don't know what would be.
Yeah, no kidding. Our style judge should be happy with that one.
I tell you, Brian, as I see these scores coming in, it's obviously a good thing that we are not judges. They just see things differently than us. Of course, you know, they got a better view. They got a different eye than we do.
Yep, absolutely. And our next competitor is going to be Honda Boy.
Honda Boy.
Name we haven't seen since last season, but we saw a lot of it last season.
Indeed. Judges are coming through with the second run there. Looks like they are going to give Stealth a 78 for that second run. That's why I said it's a.
They definitely saw something we didn't.
Indeed, they definitely had to have. So that's not going to be good enough to crack the top 10, but most likely good enough to get into the show. Like you said, we've got Honda Boy right here at the line ready to go.
And a chassis you don't see competing in a lot. S13. We got lights. And he is off. Flick initiation all the way through outer one. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. A little shaky on that first outside touch and go. Almost missing the second outside touch and go. Outer zone 2 is filled very nicely. Coming through touch and go 3 and 4. Gonna transition out to outer zone 3 and oh no! Somebody better check on that driver because I'm sure that wall just caved that door in on his chest.
Kidding.
You just saw it here, folks. Unfortunately, that is going to be a 0.
Yep, let's take a look back. It was a pretty decent run leading up to that point, though.
Yeah, it was. We're looking at a solid, probably low to mid 80s score there. Unfortunately, that wall on outside zone 3, if you don't time that transition just right, you will send it, as you saw, right into the side of that wall.
Indeed. Oof, just like that.
That driver would not be driving away like that either.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
No.
We are reset back of the line, ready for run number 2. See if he can avoid
that wall.
Crater in the side of his car this time. Oh, we are on a hold for 1 second. Have
something is up.
Some scoring issue here.
Miss. We're having a little bit of a back end issue here with the scoring system. Give us just a minute. We'll be right back. All right. Something happened with our score sheet. We couldn't find Honda Boy on the score sheet to input his scores there. I think we've got that sorted out now. So if you would like to have our cone cars send him on his second run. We got flash of lights, and he's off. Flicks that S13 out to outer zone 1, real shallow on outer 1 here. A good wavering at angle too. Not really sure. I think he might have let his nerves get the best of him. But he's going to finish out the run. Flick out to outer zone 2, still filling out the zone. Touch and go 3 is very nicely placed. Touch and go 4 is a little shallow. Outer zone 3, he does not hit the wall this time. Does fill out the zone, taps the inside wall, and across the line he goes.
Just like that. Run 2 is in the books for that man or lady. Take a look back at that second run while we let the judges put their scores in for
absolutely
that one. Yeah, there's a pretty big correction there in outside zone number 1.
Yeah. Yep, and we're now on a judging hold.
All right, we got some scores coming in now.
Ooh. Our next driver to going to be pulling to the line is going to be Misfortune Sleeper.
Sleeper.
Yes, sir.
All right. So the judges got us a score in here for Honda Boy there. Looks like for the
Nice.
second run is going to be a 66. That is not going to be enough
66. How
to
about
crack
I
that
don't
top 10.
believe- Didn't think it would. All right, our next driver, Mr. Sleeper, is at the line.
Indeed. He's ready. We're ready. Let's see what he's got.
And he's off. Flicks a hard flick going into outer one. Right up against that wall. Nicely done. Dab of the brakes to settle the car. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Man said, I got all the angle. Coming through outer 2. Nicely done through there. Gonna get right up on that white line against the bank for outer touch and go 3. Flicks the car into outer zone 3. Steadily done, right up against the wall and out inside touch and go and across the line. Wow. He was flirting with death on that inside touch and go.
Boy, no kidding. That was a pretty solid run from where I'm sitting.
Yes, yes it was.
Judges' scores are coming in. Looks like that first run is going to put him just outside the top 10 with an 83. We'll reflect that on the screen here just as soon as this replay gets through running. Still a pretty solid run. He's got just a couple of things to clean up there, man, and he could crack that top 10.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
I mean, he's only 2 points out. Back at the line, ready to lay it down again. So are we.
We got lights. 3, 2, 1, go. And he's off. Flicks that S50. Oh, no! Helicopter.
Beyblade number 2.
He's going to finish out the run, though.
Good on him. Nothing like a little live practice.
Yes, sir. Center just a little too hard, but I mean that's kind of like what I was saying earlier about the timing. If you time the initiation just wrong, you're done.
Indeed.
Good Lord, and the rest of that run was so solid too. Man, you hate to
that's
see
the
it, folks.
unfortunate
You
part.
hate to see it.
Yeah, when you have such a good run for all the rest of it, when you have the thing that you know is going to cause you a 0, and then you go out there and finish it out strong, it says a lot about your character, man.
Got a love from Mr. Sleeper in the chat. Love to see it. Love to see it. Next driver is going to be Shinju from Misfortune.
I am going to have to be super careful on the spelling of that name.
ITZSHINJU. Misfortune coming out strong today with the numbers.
Boy, no kidding. I mean, it just seems like the Misfortune show, doesn't it?
They came out in force today.
All right. I think we are set here for Shinju. Man, I'm gonna struggle with that one. Shinju.
Yep, Shinju.
See if they can crack the top 10 here. It's been a second since somebody broke into the top 10.
Yeah, it's been a little while. Takes that R32, flicks it right up against the wall here at West Coast Arena, filling out outer zone 1 very nicely. Little wall tap, but it didn't really affect him at all. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Left a lot of room on the table for the touch and goes, if I'm being honest. Outer zone 2 was filled nicely. Touch and goes 3 and 4, still leaving room for improvement there. Outer zone 3 was filled very nicely. Inside touch and go 2, and across the line he goes.
I'll tell you what, the way he was flirting with the wall in the outside zone number 1 makes me think homie's got pet snakes, bro. Like, that dude ain't scared of nothing.
My old roommates had like 5 snakes in the house, and it never once bothered me. I fed most of them.
I don't mind the constrictors so much, but you get the ones that can like just kill you dead. I don't want anything to do with them.
No, we had a 10-foot albino Burmese python.
Yeah, see those I can play with those. You know what I mean? Those don't bother me so much, but I don't know enough about snakes to know which one's a nope rope. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, the venomous ones, luckily, like, so you have to have a special like license through like the federal government to handle venomous snakes, and none of us had that, and not ready to do that.
Yeah, I don't have time for it.
All right, he is back on the line.
Shinju dropping a
Ready to
79 for his first run. Let's see what he's got for his second here. Get off the snake talk. Get on the track talk.
Get on the race cars.
Race cars.
Race cars. Flicks that R32 right up against that wall. An outer zone 1, just riding it, but flirting with death. Throws all the angle outside to go going. Bit of a tire drop on outer zone 2, but still filling out the zones nicely, keeping the run going. Transitions to outer zone 3, up against the white line, thumbing through the last inside touch and go, and across the line he goes. I am not so sure if that was a cleaner improvement run from the first.
Yeah, it's sure hard to tell, ain't it?
Yep. That one was a little rough, it seemed. Danger Noodles. That's a good name.
They're using it to review it.
And our next driver is going to be a name that everybody here should be familiar with. Damien Bro from Team Imperium.
All right, Damien, bro.
Old Damien. Big homie to Team S.O.G for a long time.
Indeed.
Doing the world's longest burnout coming to the starting line.
I love this man's livery, dude. I love that black on black, kind of that monochrome look. That is so hot.
It's such a clean look.
All right, so we got the judges' score in there for. They had a little bit of an issue on their end. We had to kind of play catch up, but they do have their final score in for Shin there on the last run. Is going to be a 77, so that's not going to improve him. He'll stick at his 79. So we'll see what Damien's got.
Yep. All right, Damien is on the line, ready to go.
Indeed, so are we. That thing just looks like a race car, don't it?
Yeah, it does. All right, Damien's gonna flick that big Wang RX-7 out to outer zone 1, grabbing the wall in a couple spots, but able to keep it going sideways. Coming through the 3 touch and goes. Nicely done. Transitions out to outer zone 2. Fills that one about as good as you could hope. Coming through touch and go 3 and 4. Nicely done through there. Dropping a tire. Oh no! Big Wang grabbed
That's
the wall and
unfortunate.
straightened him out. That is unfortunately going to be a 0 for that run.
Absolutely.
And his car stalled out.
Oh no.
Again and again and again. Jesus. Damien, what's wrong with your car, bro? Alright, just waiting on the judges' scores to get in for the 0.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a 0. Just watch through
Yeah.
this replay here real quick, and then we'll jump back to our man. There it is right there. That's so unfortunate to have such a solid run. One little mistake. But we now know that he can get it done, so now all he's got to do is just finish. Let's see what he's got on run number 2 here.
Yes, sir. Let's get it. 3, 2, 1, go! And he's off. Coming through the straightaway. Flicks that RX-7 right up against the wall. If he holds it this way, that is the best fill of outer one I have seen all day. Hands down. Good Lord. Coming through the 3 touch and go. Still a little shallow on the second outside touch and go, but nicely done. Outer zone 2 is filled extremely well. Touch and go 3 and 4, definitely nice. Outer zone 3, good Lord, man. Right up against that wall and across the line he will go. Ladies and gentlemen, if that ain't a top 5 score, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that looked quite solid.
That was a stylish, smooth, clean, zone-filling run right there.
Looking back there as he comes out of that first outside zone, those triple touches right there are way more tricky than what some of these guys are making it look like.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Finishing
Our
that.
next driver in the burnout box is going to be Yokai Royal.
Waiting for that last score to drop here. Looks like Damien is going to catch an 84 on his second run there. So that's going to move him, I mean, just outside the top 10. Jump over here and get ready for Yokai from Team Royal to do his thing here.
I don't know if he's from Team Royal. His car just says Yokai on the side of
does
it.
it? Okay, I thought
name
he was Team
says Royal. So I think he's Team Yokai, and his name is Royal. I think.
You're absolutely correct. You're absolutely correct. That is my bad. Sorry, folks. I've got 10,000 things running here. Okay, so we got his name right now. Ready when you are, sir.
We got lights. And he's off. Flicks that S15 right up against the wall for outer zone 1. Little wall scrape, nothing too crazy, but it will count as a tire drop. Coming through the 3 touch and goes, nicely done. Does look like he might have grabbed that white line on touch and go 2. Touch and goes 3s and 4s, nicely done. Transitions to that outside wall for outer zone 3, a little shallow there. And across the line he goes.
All right, let's take a look back on that real quick as our judges send in their scores. They're coming in right now. Tell you what, Brian, I wouldn't stand a chance. Some of these guys that are running out here today, I just fold up and go home, bro.
Be perfectly honest with you, I feel like I could actually have done good here.
I mean, I know this line frontwards and backwards. I can fly it backwards in the drone, man, but I just don't know competition. Royal sitting here with a 76 on run 1, so he's got some work to do if he wants to crack into that top 10.
All the revs, pops, and bangs. We got lights. We got more revving, and he's off. Flicks out to outer zone 1. Little wall scrape again. Everybody's they're pushing for that deepness, but forgetting that the wall scrapes count as tire drops there. Fills out the 3 touch and goes very nice. Drops a tire on outer 2. Filling out touch and go 3 and 4 nicely. Transitions out to outer zone 3. Plays it a little safe. And across the line he goes. Enough for a solid score regardless.
Agreed.
Nicely done.
See if it moves him up a little bit here. If I'm not mistaken, Brian, that is the last run. Is it not?
That is the last run of the day. Last run of the last driver of today. We had no last-minute show-ups.
Taking a look right
Everybody
now at the
is
last run
here.
again, the replay here. The judges' scores are coming in. We'll, of course, give Royal the full treatment here. Let everybody see his side-by-sides. Final score for Royal is going to be an 81. So that is, again, a solid score. Just not good enough to get into the top 10, but, I mean, the top 10, we have, what, 6 points?
Between all of
7
them.
points between all the top 10. So that's pretty tight at the top, man, and I hope that's indicative of the competition that's going to be seen in the battles and hopefully for the remainder of season 1. All right, if that's going to be the last run, there you have it, folks. Switch back to take a quick look at our cone car. There you have it. There is your top 10. Mr. Ty sitting at the top with a 92 1-point gap back to Mason in the second spot, and S.O.G. Slim rounding out your top 3. Spartan, MTX Baggish, Scally, Dr. Brian, OG, and KJ Drift from Poetic Tunes. It's going to be your top 10 as we head into our battles. Battles will be this coming Saturday. I believe that is June the 2nd. No, sorry, June 3rd. 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. We'll send the battles live, and hopefully that'll be just as exciting as the qualifying event was here. We really appreciate everybody, particularly at the beginning of the broadcast. We had some growing pains there. Pushed it back a little bit further. I think we're going to be able to iron those out pretty quickly. Make sure that those things are taken care of so we don't have to worry about that in the future. Thanks everybody for watching. We really appreciate it. And again, a big appreciation sent out to all the folks that have participated today. We know you took time out of your Saturday on Memorial Day weekend. We greatly appreciate that. But for Team S.O.G, I think we're going to get out of here, Brian.
I would agree. I'm well, as somebody else pointed out, I'm brain dead. I'm done. I'm dead. I'm tired.
We'll give y'all some a last little trip through our commercials that we built for you, and then we'll close this thing out. Thanks for watching, everybody. We appreciate y'all.
Thanks, guys.